We're going to stick with diversification as we move over to Sean Smyth at Smithers. Morning, Sean. Over to you.
Hello, Lesley. Thank you so much for the opportunity to join in with this event. Smithers does an awful lot of market research, and we look at the print markets, not solely in the wide format area. And it's fair to say the last 6 months have been interesting, to say the very least. And these numbers here show on a macro scale the impact of COVID that COVID has been having across the market for printing, for packaging. So this shows on a macro scale what's been happening in 2020. And it's looking at, in the blue line, publishing, newspapers, books, magazines, directory, print volumes. The orange line is graphics that includes wide format graphics, but also commercial print, advertising print, security print, and a range of those things. And in grey, the printed packaging and labels. And you're seeing declines gradually in the overall market for graphics and publishing. This is global. In 2020, sharply down, and there have been significant falls in many areas. And it was encouraging listening to Will and to Richard and to Stuart to hear some optimism and the ability to rapidly change and flick through, because I think that's going to be ever increasingly important as we're going forward. If we look at the impact on the change from last year to 2020, that's the grey lines there. They're negative values. We see overall the print volume falling by 13% this year compared to last year. Publishing takes the brunt of it. Graphics is around that level. A lot lower decline in labels and packaging for a variety of reasons, but it's not all great news in labels and packaging. Some sectors are significantly down, while others are being boosted across the range. But we see going forward that there will be a recovery in graphics. It's modest, it's 1–2% a year, but there's a wide mix of products and processes in there. Labels and packaging performing much better for reasons that are well understood. Growing numbers of consumers wanting high quality packaged, high provenance brands. Publishing, not such a good news. We've seen declines there, and they're not going to come back because the world has changed. COVID, it is not going to be the same. I despair of the term the new normal, but it's a different normal going forward. And what Smithers has tried to do is to understand what's happening in different markets in different regions across the world, and then to put it into context and provide some ideas what printing companies might do. And we've heard 3 fantastic ideas, which I'm delighted to say fall in the mix of activities that we're doing. And what this screen shows is a strategic plan matrix. Companies exist in the bottom left of the diagram. You serve existing customers with existing products and services, and you know both of them, and that's a great place to be because it's where we are all the time. But we want to grow. The market situation has changed. What can we do? Well, you have 2 choices. You can try to sell the same range of products and services to new people. So we go up the x-axis, up the markets. We identify new potential customers, and we service them with products and services that we know and we're very good at, and we have a reputation in doing. The alternative way will be to sell different things to existing customers. We all know our customers, we talk to them, they have pain points, they have things that distress them. We may not be able to do them ourselves, but We might be able to partner with somebody, we might be able to buy somebody, we might be able to do new things, and we can then move along the y-axis, develop new products, extend our products. If you want to get incredibly brave, you start selling newer products to new markets. Very good idea to do it. The grass is usually quite green on the other side of the fence. You probably don't know all of the pitfalls and the local market areas, but this matrix, and here's things that printing companies might do, and we've heard great examples from Will and Stuart of practical things that they've done, and the way that Richard's forming a strategic approach to do that, to move into new areas and find them. And getting into printed textiles if you're not there already. You've got skills for wide format. It's only, he says, a different substrate. So you may have the skills that are known in project management, in workflow, in artwork preparation, move into other areas, get into some of the more industrial sectors. Lots of wide format printers, do wall coverings, decoration, working with construction companies, working with interior designers and people like that. Things that a few years ago we weren't necessarily so happy in doing. Because what's happened with COVID is the rules have changed. And the rules that governed us last year are not the same. And necessity is the mother of invention, and we're seeing significant innovation and diversification of businesses really taking moonshot innovation approaches rather than more normal incremental innovation, and doing totally new things, opening up totally new markets and doing areas. And you don't have to be a big business. Small businesses are very agile. You don't have to do it by yourself. You can collaborate. You can collaborate with your customers, collaborate with some of your competitors and do things. Or be very brave. But remember that as you move up to the top right of the sector, because you don't necessarily know these new customers or these new markets, that there are increasing risks associated with that. But additionally, there are potentially great rewards. For example, Blue Tree Communications up in Yorkshire, and James and Adam invested a couple of £1 million in making masks. They did it seriously, and they were awarded a £64 million contract for the NHS, and they're desperately seeking new people to help them get into this area there. Why should a printing company do this? Because we're great in the printing industry at project management, complex artwork, lots of things that many manufacturing companies do not have the skills to, that we can utilize in new areas to serve new customers with new products. And the stories that Will and Richard and Stuart have been telling us earlier on are incredibly encouraging. So yeah, the overall traditional market is declining. Well, we can sit and complain about it and moan and do nothing, and we won't survive. The companies that are proactive are looking for new opportunities, looking for new things, because this sector is also full of new opportunities, can do new things, such as the Blue Tree. There are many other examples. So thanks very much for the opportunity of talking to you today, Lesley.
Thank you very, very much for that, Sean.